Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you, and I did a short on this knife just to kind of show it's called New Knife Day, and I have been focusing my attention the last few months on vintage knives, Queen, Camillus, Schrade, Case, vintage, maybe 70s, 80s, 90s. Early 2000s, but at the same time you can't drop the ball on the new Case knives. And one thing I've seen out there are the Indian paintbrush knives by Case. And on the secondary market, gee whiz, we have one at $9.95. We have some at $600. These are $995, $695, $500, $500-$600 for them. And it has to do mostly with the coloring. This is a Muskrat, and I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't the Indian paintbrush Muskrat. I wanted to see, and I kind of gambled, and I got a good one. Great, no, but good. So what do we have here? Well, it's got an arrowhead shield and what they're calling the Case Kinfolks jigging. I got Kinfolks jigging on Jade when they did it. I got a mini trapper, and a stockman. And I'll tell you what, I would love to see this in a mini trapper and the 75 or the 47 stockman. 47 stockman, I feel, would look about the same. So, well, let's get into the knife. We already talked about that bone. We'll talk about the hafting. You can see the bone is thicker here, and they brought it up. And on this, you can kind of see the way the person was hafting. What they do is there's a kind of like a sanding wheel and a buffing wheel, and they will set it on there, and they need to match it up with this bolster. But you can see on this one clearly where that wheel stopped right across here. Then they'll move it to more of a polishing wheel, but that's the way it's done. And when they do it, you get this. What you get is a lighter color the deeper you go. Fantastic fit and finish on this one, making me think, man, I got a 9 here, and then what? Well, and then you go to open the primary blade, and it's got this drag. Okay, but I've had that before on another knife, and we'll get into that. So this is your Muskrat blade, and this is your blade etch. We can't even say tang stamp. It's going to be your tang etch. We should be looking at 5 stars, and it's a 2025. And if I get this right, I will have a what will I have? Oh, I'll do an unboxing at the end, at least show you guys the box. This one was built March of 2025, but for some reason it wasn't really released until April 19th, the way that the box indicates. So let's see. Very, very nice across here. A slight stepping, if you can see that. And there it is with that drag again, and a nice snap. So somewhere in the middle, this one has a drag. This one, oh boy, that's really good. All right, we're smooth across here, and again with the slightest. I mean, I'm gonna call that one good. So I like these clip point blades. I like the fact you have 2 of them, I haven't talked about it, but the shape of this points this blade, we'll call it your secondary blade, points it down more. Hopefully you can see that. And maybe sometimes the best way to illustrate that is by showing you both blades at the same time. And if I put those in this position, maybe you can see that. This blade kind of comes more straight, and this blade kind of comes and it's got more of a curve down. But either way, very comfortable. Very comfortable ergos, and it's slim. Not super slim, but slimmer than one of my favorite carries, which is the Case 47. And I'm going to grab this one for a couple reasons. This one's done in old red, but it sort of gives you an idea what Indian paintbrush, part of the allure. If we have, and you can see some of this, you know, that orangey. So apparently there's a flower, maybe in Texas, New Mexico, somewhere in the southern United States, that gives off these colors. And these are, as far as I can tell, on the same frame. So this Muskrat's going to be a little bit narrower. Has 2 springs, which is still 1 for each blade. There. And then there we go. This one has 3. Now this knife actually at one point had that same drag I'm telling you about. And it was on, I think it was where the spring and the tang of the knife, right in here. I felt it like it almost like it came off, and then I rinsed out, and it was jerky one day. Well, actually 1 minute, and good the next. So I love these things. I love having the different blades for slicing, a sheep's foot for, you know, kind of a utility cut, and you'd be surprised what you'll think of with that spay blade. So good snap on this. I hope the action cleans up. I'm not going to send it in over that. Here you go. Indian paintbrush, old red. This would be the Rogers jigging. And while we're at it, I want to go ahead and show you guys, you don't see that one every day. I'm going to release this video pretty quickly from the time I shoot it, and I'm looking for some feedback on this knife. This knife is a K-bar Stockman, but interesting thing, it wasn't made by K-bar. This was made in 1990. And the model number on this is a WRA 90. It's a Wrangler. And I just don't know who made it. I almost hate to give my suspicions. I guess what I can tell you, from my understanding, K-Bar from 75 to 01 was having Case and or Queen make their knives. Now, they didn't make regular production knives. They made kind of a collector's club knife. This one isn't an official collector's club, but I'm hoping you guys might recognize the blade shapes. Get this one out again. Is that a Case blade shape? Is that a Queen? Or is this bone case? here's your final. What about this Beyblade? I can't quite place it. I got my suspicions, but I'd like some feedback from you guys. And video for this, I don't know. It would be out later. Could be months from now, could be fall of 25. So thanks for hanging with me. And if I get her done, I'm going to get you guys an unboxing. Thanks now. Hey guys, told you I'd try to show you the box. So here we are. Here's the item number 42325, Indian paintbrush bone, Kinfolks Jigged Muskrat. And I should say the Muskrat is the only case knife without a model number. I should have showed you it's going to say Muskrat on the blade. Has a born on date 3/19/25. But this is strange. If anybody knows what this is, it's April 15th of 2025. And I've seen that on things like my rattlesnake knives, which were antique bone, and then I believe sent away and had a laser etching done to them outside the factory. I don't know what this knife might have had, but if anybody knows why there's that second sticker, let me know. Thank you.